Hello everyone. Hi. Mr. Thompson is obviously now in school a bit more. I did want to do my stories outside, however it's a bit breezy today and I don't want you to miss any of the stories, so I'm up here in the Elsa room in the house. Okay, so keep it nice and quiet, but it's lovely up here and I've got some bean bags around me. Nice and comfy as well. But you get a school version of Mr. Thompson at the moment, but hey ho, I'll try and do some more as much as I can at home as well. Okay. However, our story today that we're going to be using in our English this week and next week is called Boomerang. Now, boomerangs, you may well know, are those sticks. They look kind of like, almost like a triangle without a bottom. They're like a curved stick. And when you throw them, they spin and they come back to you if you throw them very well. I've never been very good at throwing them, so they've never come back to me. But this one's called Boomerang, and it's a traditional tale from Australia, because that's where boomerangs traditionally come from. Okay? So we'll find out what Boomerang is all about. Okay. So Boomerang, a traditional story from Australia. It was hot, 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 and Ula, the young lizard, was practicing with his boomerang, throwing it as far as possible. He and his friends were going to have a contest soon, and Ula wanted to be sure to win, so he was practicing. "Be careful, you almost hit me," complained Gala, the cockatoo from the branches of a eucalyptus tree. "It's not my fault you decided to sit up there, old lady," replied Ula rudely. "Why don't you go and take a snooze somewhere else?" Young creatures nowadays, the cockatoo thought. They had no respect and no manners. "I'm not an old lady, and I'm certainly not taking a snooze," she snapped, ruffling up her feathers and shaking out her wings. "I'm sitting on my eggs, like any good cockatoo mother should do." Old people, thought Ula. They were always making a fuss, as if whatever they did was important, and whatever he did wasn't. He threw his boomerang again, as hard as he could, and this time it passed so close to Gala that it shaved the feathers clean off the top of her head. Only a few remained sticking up like plumed reeds in a river. "You almost killed me, you insolent rascal," screeched Gala. "I'm going to teach you a lesson." Oh dear. It was said in the bush that Gala knew some powerful magic. She was also known to be vicious when she was upset. Ula dropped his precious boomerang and bolted. Even if there was no truth to the rumour about Gala's magical abilities, he didn't want her to sink that famously sharp beak and those razor-sharp claws into him. But the cockatoo was faster than the lizard had expected. She swooped down, caught Ula in her surprisingly large claws, and hurled him into a bindia bush. Poor Ula. The bindia bush was covered in spikes that got stuck into his back. "I put a spell on you," snarled Gala, flapping around the bush. "You will remain prickly for evermore. That'll teach you to be rude to your elders and your neighbours." "And I put a spell on you too," groaned Ula, who knew a little magic of his own. "As long as I remain prickly, you shall have only a small tuft of feathers on your head, and everyone will be able to see where my boomerang nearly hit you." Both Gala's spell and Ula's spell came true. Moloch lizards in Australia continue to have prickly backs, and white cockatoos are always trying to slick down a tuft of feathers on their heads. And that is the story of the boomerang. Do you think you can pick out the message that's in that story? Often these traditional tales from different countries have different messages in them. Okay? Have a think about that one and think about what's the message that it's trying to tell you. Okay? They're often told to children or people growing up, okay, to pass on that message in a different kind of way. A little bit like stories like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Okay, that's to pass on a message about lying. Think about what the message might be in this one here. But we're going to be using this in our work this week and next week, both of these weeks. But I hope you enjoyed that story. I'll see if I can show you. It's not as easy because I haven't got my phone to see what I'm showing, but hopefully that will show it there. The show of Ula with his boomerang and Gala, the cockatoo. And there's some koalas in there looking rather like they don't know what's going on. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.